Greetings, friends. Welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Sean, your host. The website is www.scriptureandprophecy.com. Well, this morning we are looking for some wisdom and some encouragement from the Psalms and Proverbs, and we're ready for Psalm 55 today. We're going to read that in conjunction with Proverbs chapter 6. Proverbs chapter 6 covers a few things that God hates, 7 things that are an abomination to him. And so that should be pretty interesting for us today. Psalm 55 is David. He's complaining, he's calling upon God, asking God for help as wickedness surrounds him. And we can probably relate to that, can't we? As we continue to see evil celebrated, evil prosper, the righteous oppressed and silenced, and wickedness running rampant, while being financially and politically and socially supported by government, by media, by Hollywood, by sports, by video games, by every streaming television service. Every area of this country is lifting up and supporting evil. Even the modern church. And so the remnant is small. The people of God are few. But this has always been the case. And God is a strong tower. And the righteous run into him, and they are saved. And we are to cast our burdens upon the Lord, and he shall sustain us. And he shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Let's read Psalm 55. Give ear to my prayer, O God, and hide not thyself from thy supplication. Attend unto me and hear me. I mourn in my complaint and make a noise. Because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked. For they cast iniquity upon me, and in wrath they hate me. My heart is sore pained within me, and the terrors of death are fallen upon me. Fearfulness and trembling are coming upon me, and horror hath overwhelmed me. And I said, Oh, that I had wings like a dove, for then would I fly away and be at rest. Lo, then would I wander far off and remain in the wilderness. Selah. I would hasten my escape from the windy storm and tempest. Destroy, O Lord, and divide their tongue, for I have seen violence and strife in the city. Day and night they go about it upon the walls thereof. Mischief also and sorrow are in the midst of it. Wickedness is in the midst thereof. Deceit and guile depart not from her streets. For it was not an enemy that reproached me, then I could have borne it. Neither was it he that hated me, that did magnify himself against me, then I would have hid myself from him. But it was thou, a man mine equal, my guide and my acquaintance. We took sweet counsel together and walked unto the house of God in company. Let death seize upon them, and let them go down quick into hell, for wickedness is in their dwellings and among them. As for me, I will call upon God, and the Lord shall save me. Evening and morning and at noon will I pray and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. He hath delivered my soul in peace from the battle that was against me, for there were many with me. God shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old. Selah. Because they have no changes, therefore they fear not God. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. But thou, O God, shalt bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men shall not live without half their days. But I will trust in thee. And that is Psalm 55. He says, evening and morning and at noon will I pray and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. You see, David's response was to get on his face before God, not just in the morning, not just at night, but even in the middle of the day, praying and crying aloud. That's what it looks like to really cast your burden upon the Lord. It's to get on your face and pray. Often, multiple times in a day, seeking God. It says, God shall hear and afflict them. He's going to bring them down into the pit of destruction. Over and over, the Proverbs talk about the wicked falling into their own pit. There's been a lot of traps laid this year. Lots of traps, lots of deceit. And I continue to pray, oh God, let them fall into their own pit. They've dug a ditch for us. Let them be the ones that fall into it. Preserve the righteous. For your own name's sake, intervene on our behalf. Let's take a look at chapter 6 in the book of Proverbs and see if we can get a little wisdom here. Again, Solomon continues to warn his sons about the dangers of a strange woman and about walking in abominations, as we're going to see here. My sons, my son, if thou be surety for thy friend, if thou hast stricken thy hand with a stranger, thou art snared with the words of thy mouth. Thou art taken with the words of thy mouth. Do this now, my son, and deliver thyself. When thou art come into the hand of thy friend, go humble thyself and make sure thy friend. Give not sleep to thine eyes, nor slumber to thy eyelids. Deliver thyself as a roe from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of the fowler. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways, and be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer, and gather her food in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. Please note, those last 4 or 5 verses, he's saying, consider the ant, how the ant labors. The ant doesn't even have an overseer or anybody telling it what to do, but it gathers food in the summer, right? It prepares, it works hard. The outcome of being a sluggard, of being lazy, is poverty, right? Yet a little sleep, yet a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. Verse 12. A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth. The word froward in the King James Bible means perverse. Walks with a perverse mouth. Verse 13. He winketh with his eye, he speaketh with his feet, he teacheth with his fingers. Frowardness, perverseness is in his heart. He devises mischief continually. He soweth discord. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly, suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. These 6 things doth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination to him. Alright, so he's going to list 7 things. 6 of them he hates, all 7 are an abomination. Here we go. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among the brethren. So he lists 7 things there, and 2 of them are similar, something that God really must hate. A lying tongue and a false witness that speaketh lies. God hates lies and liars. As a matter of fact, in the book of Revelation, it talks about how all liars will have their part in the lake of fire, right? He hates deception. He hates liars. That's the outcome. That's the future of all these people who get behind these cameras on the news media and push lies and fear and discord. Lake of fire is their future. All these politicians who lie and cheat and steal and create lies and bear false witnesses, the burning lake of fire is their future. Verse 20. My son, keep thy father's commandment and forsake not the law of thy mother. Bind them continually upon thy heart and tie them about thy neck. When thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is a light, and reproofs of instructions are the way of life. To keep thee from evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman, lust not after her beauty. In thine heart neither let her take thee with her eyelids. For by means of a whorish woman a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. Can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned? Can one go upon hot coals and his feet not be burned? So he that goeth into his neighbor's wife, whosoever toucheth her shall not be innocent. Alright, please note, he's once again warning, do not go after a strange woman, or an adulteress, or a whore. You're just setting yourself up for annihilation, right? Your life is going to get wrecked. Your relationships are going to get wrecked. Judgment is going to come upon you. We have an expression, in English where we say, if you play with fire, you're going to get burned, right? Same thing. He's saying, can a man take fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned? Can he go upon hot coals and his feet not get burned? So he that goeth into his neighbor's wife, whosoever touches her shall not be innocent. Verse 30. Men, do not despise a thief if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. But if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold, and he shall give the substance of his house. But whosoever committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. A wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. For jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts. And that is the end of Proverbs chapter 6. Lots of wisdom to be had there. Let's just look at the 6 things God hates. 7 of them are an abomination. Number 1, a proud look. Number 2, a lying tongue. Number 3, a hand that sheds innocent blood. These are things God hates. Number 4, a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations. Number 5, feet that are swift to running to mischief. Number 6, a false witness that speaketh lies. And number 7, he that soweth discord among the brethren. Those who are in the churches who are whispering in the corners and turning brother and sister against each other, those in the faith. God hates that. God hates that. Well, I hope you've found some wisdom, found some encouragement, and been blessed by this podcast this morning. I think the Psalms and the Proverbs is a great way to start the week. Lord willing, I'll be back with you tomorrow and a few more times this week with some more studies. I want to thank all of you for your prayers and for your support. You can support the podcast by going to scriptureandprophecy.com, clicking on the donate and support button. Please consider becoming a Patreon subscriber or supporting the podcast. You can also support the podcast by picking up the 30-day devotional, The End of Days. All right, friends. That's all I have for you this morning. Peace and grace be with all of you. And until next time, God bless.